We call him Coach Jim here at JagaSilk, Jim Finlayson, and he's very knowledgeable about the mechanics of running, and he coaches. He's gotten us on a trajectory where we don't hurt ourselves when we run, which is...
That's the starting point.
15 years of history with Jim buying our matcha.
Say it's about that.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
And it's awesome to have you on the show. Oh.
Yeah.
But that was the Okamidori blend. So
Okay.
a little bit more tannin than you're probably used to.
Yeah.
Jim always gets the best of the best from us.
For better or worse, at home, that's what it is. So I mean, Ashley likes it, so it's hard to go back.
Fair.
But,
yeah. No,
they're all great, but we definitely have pretty refined taste there.
I think that was an attempt at balancing.
I think it might have been.
Yeah. Okay. No, fair enough. Do you find that you've had a number of our different matchas? Is it more at that point a flavor thing, or like I remember one time you went from our sort of cafe grade matcha and you kind of leveled things up after a tasting with Miyu, my wife, back in the day, and you didn't go back. Was that more of like was that a flavor preference?
Purely.
Okay.
Yeah. It just I mean it just enhanced the experience, and that's really important to me. I mean, it's when I'm ingesting anything, I want it to be a really good experience and the best experience that I can justify.
Sure. No, that makes sense. So, is there? So, if anybody watching is trying to manage, I guess their athletic lifestyle and they are having some kind of issues with inflammation in their body. Do you have any advice for them when it comes to matcha and how to best utilize it? Or
the way with respect to athleticism, with respect to running, I have two ways that I go about using matcha. One is post session, where I want to reduce the inflammation. Now, I mean, that's a bit of a complex issue. You don't want to necessarily reduce too much inflammation right away. Do you want to just because the quicker you reduce inflammation, the quicker you get antioxidants into the body, the quicker you get into an ice bath. The more you blunt some of those potential adaptations. Right. So I am cautious with it post workout, but I do find that it does seem to help. I mean, for me, one of the things that I consider is just like the vasculature, blood vessels. Like if I can get a little bit more oxygenation into the muscles, then that seems to me to be a good thing with respect of recovery. So I will sometimes have it after workout. Often I'll actually have it before.
Right.
It's not so much for the caffeine. I find that from a performance perspective, the caffeine is a little bit too low in matcha to really be of benefit. It would be more having that calm focus. I find it very psychologically uplifting. Sure. That I feel like it puts me in a good frame of mind. Yeah. And that can help me work through some of the more challenging workout days. So I think I especially find it if sleep hasn't been great, if I'm feeling just a little bit more, say, dysthymia than usual, I find that matcha can be enough to bring me back from that threshold a little bit so that I can work through some of the more, the harder days and the ones where maybe I just don't have quite the same reserve to push.
Some people call it an adaptogen. It's interesting you say that about kind of like, I feel like there's some correlations between, people talk about when you're borderline diabetic, having matcha actually helps bring you back to a place of normalcy.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it also helps to sort of regulate your cholesterol in your system too. Like there seems to be like it's sort of like a grounding agent almost. Like it seems to bring you back to a place of health when you're going into an extreme place.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for a whole range range of things. But that's interesting. It always comes to mind though, like when I'm, I'm fascinated by this idea of being an athlete and choosing to continue to be an athlete. Like you weren't dealing with MS your entire athletic life, and you just hit a moment where you were like, okay, I have it. And then a lot of people, I think, especially at the time, were like, okay, I got to not move, And it's so interesting to me to be like, okay, like I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna buck the trend here. Was there just some really interesting research at the time, or was this just like your gut feeling?
No, it was just what I wanted to do. My neurologist had said that I probably won't race competitively again, and may not run again. But I love running, and I don't want to let go of that. And so for as long as I can, I want to run. And
that's been the entirety of our.
Yeah, exactly. And so I didn't know what was going to happen. Like when I first had the set of symptoms and was actually diagnosed, I didn't know where I was going to go with that. I like the neurologist told me that I probably wouldn't run again and probably wouldn't race competitively again at the very least.
Right.
But my philosophy has always been like, we don't know. Like let's just see. I mean, I want to try it. Let's try it. And then if it ends up being that I can't get back to where I was, or can't run the way I want, or can't run at all, then I was willing to face that. But I just never found that was the case. Like I kept running and found. I mean, I'm a very big believer in 3 tenets in life. One is like eat really well.
Yeah.
2 is sleep really well.
Yeah.
3 is exercise. Like I think that those 3 things.
Those are the 3 pillars. We call them the 3 pillars.
Yeah, I think they're just obviously I'm not unique in this, and I think it's really important to be attentive to those every day.
When something's going off, it's generally one of those 3 pillars is off.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I struggle with the sleep part, getting a little bit more under control, but oh my goodness, when I have it under control.
Yeah,
the difference in my whole psyche.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
I think they sort of interconnect too. Like when you're sleeping well, it gets a lot easier to exercise and eat properly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that it makes a big difference with the psychology again. I think your mood. I mean,
but it can be a vicious cycle too, right? Like by not exercising properly, it can affect your
spiral,
sleep, and then you just like everything goes all along that way too, right? So it's interesting.
Yeah. So daily, I try to just be attentive to all 3 of those, and just do the best I can within the framework of my life and
for sure.
The things that I deal with. So.
Well, it's been, I know we often, when we do the show, we talk about this topic, but most of the time we're not really. And, I always find it so interesting because, I just, I think it's what got me, interested in doing this for my career, really. Is Mew is very into the healing properties of herbals, and to be suggested to bring in matcha at the very beginning of JagaSilk didn't make sense to us because it was just this kind of bitter traditional tea that we never really enjoyed, either of us, when we were in Japan. And then to find out the powerful healthful component and to see that connection to, say, different herbs and like natural supplements and things that we were interested in. It was really definitely an in for us. And it's what encouraged us to be, then it felt like very like a powerful medicine that we're getting involved with.
Yeah.
And I sometimes forget that, and it's interesting to have these conversations because it's a reminder of the core of the meaning behind it and why we're interested in the first place, why we do it, why we continue to do it. Because sometimes you get really tired and, you do the same business. Like we're starting 2005. So we're almost 20 years.
Yeah.
We're really close.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, we're not there yet, but they do say that most people need a career change after 10 years.
Yeah. Okay.
And what I've heard from other business owners is that rather than a career change, the way that they have that longevity is by reorganizing and re-envisioning and sort of creating what it is that they do.
Yep.
But I think you got to also recognize what inspired it in the first place. And definitely this healing component is very interesting to me. And to protect that, right?
It becomes like a passion and a lifestyle.
For sure.
And so I think it sort of transcends business and work. I think it becomes something that's so much more than that. And when it becomes a passion and a lifestyle, there's no decade sort of limitation on it. Like you just, it's a lifetime. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do we think we should have some final pear juice for Penelope, or what do you think? We were paired out.
Probably good. Yeah, okay. She's gonna. Yeah, we need to actually probably get some real food in
real
this
food.
Thing.
You want to get some real food? Because we're coming to the end of the show here. So if people want to have you as their coach and they're in Victoria, how do they find you? How do they?
My email address is on my website, I believe. So it is finlaysonjim@gmail.com.
That's how they connect with you?
Exactly.
I know you're a somewhat newish father.
Yeah.
And you're running. How do you find
really
room for the coaching? Are you just mostly doing the running and the father stuff and a little bit of coaching? Or do you just manage it all?
It's really busy. Like, days are busy. Yeah. Is
he busy?
So
guy, hey?
my partner Ashley, she works full days, Monday, Thursday, Friday, and so I'm full dad those days.
Okay.
And then I have Tuesday, Wednesdays to do my coaching work.
Amazing.
We just do a little juggling act, and
that works. That works.
And then the weekends we try to. Well, I do a lot of my training on the weekend, the longer stuff.
And Penelope try to keep everybody in order.
Yeah, well. Exactly. And try to reserve one day, the Sundays ideally, where we do something all together.
That's important.
And you need to place an order?
No.
Tea?
All right.
You going to say tea?
Tea? I think we got it. Yeah, we got a tea. Yeah, we did. Okay. Well, it's been lovely to have my youngest guest ever join me by Papa Jim.
Yeah.
And it's been a really good dialogue. Sorry for the late start, but we made it through.
Yeah.
And I think people are and we're joined at the last minute by Sherri Anne, sister. I know you got to run, but Sherri Anne was I guess not really a career athlete, but you were like full on, like doing before her career as a singer songwriter. She was a goalie in field hockey.
Oh yeah,
for Northwestern University. Like
so Big Ten.
Yeah,
at the time, because I was in Michigan.
Oh, you were
Michigan? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're saying goodbye now. But thank you so much for joining us, Jim. And,
thank you.
Did you have like a last final question? Maybe you're overhearing stuff.
Oh, I think what you're doing is awesome.
Thanks. I really appreciate that this place is here as well. I mean, it's I've often thought, like, what would I do without JagaSilk and Monroe's and the Chocolate Project? Like, I don't know where I'd be.
Oh,
I agree.
So
that's really
you guys have been a very stable, long-standing part of my life. So.
Well, thank you, Jim.
Likewise.
Yeah, and we may be running with Jim, but probably not this year, but maybe another year.
Yeah.
TC 10K, we do that as a team.
Oh, cool.
So if you're running in Victoria and you see the cats, there might be a cat on the road. This cool cat might be on the road.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. All right, and bye. And goodbye. And thank you so much to Jim and to Penelope for coming on today. Thank you. Okay. We'll see you again next week on Thursday. Thursdays at around 2-ish. Check us out at jagasilk.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jared Nyberg. You got to go back though in time and check out some of our old videos. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell.